You've probably met someone like this before. They walk into a room and somehow make everyone feel comfortable, respected, and heard without being the loudest voice or taking over the conversation. They're not cold, they're not overly chatty, but when they leave, people think to themselves, I like that person. That right there is emotional intelligence. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. Here's the truth. Emotional intelligence isn't about always being nice, agreeable, or calm. It's about awareness, knowing yourself and understanding others. It's about reading emotions without playing mind games. It's about noticing your feelings without letting those feelings control you. A lot of people mistake emotional intelligence for fake empathy or surface-level charm. But real EQ is subtle. So subtle that you don't even notice it's there until it's gone. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 subtle behaviors that reveal high emotional intelligence. These aren't the cliches you see all over social media. These are the small, powerful habits that, when practiced consistently, can make you the calmest, most trustworthy person in any room. Not by force, but by presence. Ready? Let's get into it. And no, it's not about eye contact or giving hugs. Behavior 1. They pause before reacting. Emotionally intelligent people don't rush to respond. It's not that they don't have opinions or feelings. They do. But they know that those first reactions are usually driven by ego, not wisdom. So they pause. Not out of fear, but out of self-control. Research has shown that even a short pause before responding, just a few seconds, can lower emotional reactivity by more than half. That's huge. And this pause isn't about bottling up feelings. It's about observing them in real time. Picture this. Someone says something disrespectful. Instead of snapping, they take a breath. Someone challenges their idea. Instead of defending immediately, they listen. This isn't weakness. It's strength. Because the moment you pause, you reclaim your power. You're choosing your response instead of being controlled by impulse. In today's world, where quick reactions are rewarded, that kind of restraint stands out. And have you noticed how magnetic it is when someone doesn't flinch under pressure? When they can sit with silence, when they don't scramble to defend every thought. That's the power of the pause. Not silence for the sake of silence, but silence with purpose. Behavior 2. They read the room without making it about themselves. Some people walk into a room and demand attention. But emotionally intelligent people walk in and tune into the atmosphere. They notice when someone is uncomfortable, even if that person is smiling. They sense the subtle changes before the mood shifts. They're not mind readers, they're just observant. They're paying attention to body language, tone, and energy. But here's the difference. They don't use that awareness to make the moment about themselves. They don't say, "You look upset. Was it something I did?" Or hijack the conversation with their own story. Instead, they adjust quietly. They create space. They adapt without stealing focus. Most people enter a room thinking, "How do I fit in?" But high EQ people ask, "What's happening here? And how can I add value without overstepping?" That shift makes all the difference. Behavior 3. They let silence do the work. Most people are afraid of silence. We rush to fill it, especially when we're nervous. But emotionally intelligent people know silence is powerful. In tough conversations, in negotiations, even in simple interactions, silence allows truth to surface. It gives people room to open up. It lowers defensiveness. Studies have shown that in sales and business, those who allow pauses during conversations actually close more deals. Why? Because silence makes people think. And when you're not rushing to speak, people perceive you as calm and grounded, even if you're nervous inside. Want to appear confident in any situation? Learn to let silence stretch. Not just after you speak, but after they speak. Give their words time to breathe. Let the moment settle. That's where the real connection happens. Behavior 4. They ask insightful, unusual questions. Most conversations sound the same. What do you do? Busy day? Did you see that on Instagram? But emotionally intelligent people go deeper. They ask questions that invite honesty. Things like, "What's been on your mind a lot lately?" What's giving you energy these days? What's something you're secretly excited about? These kinds of questions bypass small talk and show genuine curiosity. They're not about impressing people or fishing for attention. They're about understanding. And when someone feels truly understood, trust builds instantly. High EQ people aren't waiting for their turn to speak. They're listening, really listening, because they know your answer tells them how to connect with you better. Behavior 5. They regulate, not suppress. Their emotions. Here's a big myth. Emotionally intelligent people never get angry, jealous, or anxious. Wrong. They feel it all. The difference? They know what to do with those emotions. Suppression means pretending everything is fine when it's not. Regulation means noticing the emotion, understanding the trigger, and choosing a response that honors the feeling without dumping it on someone else. For example, you're in a meeting and someone cuts you off. Do you snap? Do you stew quietly? Or do you calmly say, "I'd like to finish my thought, please"? That's regulation. That's emotional discipline. It's easy to explode. It's easy to shut down. But holding that balance in the middle, that's strength. People who regulate their emotions walk differently, speak differently, and recover faster from setbacks. Instead of letting feelings control them, they transform those emotions into something useful. Fear becomes strategy, frustration becomes focus, hurt becomes boundaries. That's not fluff. That's growth. Behavior 6. They don't make everything about themselves. We've all had this happen. You share a struggle and someone responds, "Oh, the same thing happened to me. Let me tell you all about it." Suddenly, your moment becomes their story. High EQ people resist that urge. They know how to hold space. They don't need to interrupt, compare, or redirect attention. They allow you to have your moment without making themselves the star. That's rare. Most people aren't doing it out of malice. They're just insecure, always trying to prove they matter. But emotionally intelligent people already know their worth. They don't need to hijack conversations to feel significant. True listening is one of the greatest acts of respect. When someone listens without judgment, without rushing to fix things, they're telling you, "You matter. I hear you." That's the real flex of emotional intelligence. Behavior 7. They can disagree without disrespect. This may be the most underrated skill of all. Emotionally intelligent people can disagree without making the other person feel small. They can say, "I see it differently. Here's another angle. I don't fully agree, but I hear you," all without being dismissive or attacking. That's rare because disagreement often triggers defensiveness. But high EQ people separate the person from the idea. They focus on the point, not the identity. And that makes conversations safe even when they're intense. Teams, friendships, marriages, all thrive when people can disagree without disrespect. Because it means fewer fights, fewer misunderstandings, and way less tension. Emotional intelligence doesn't remove conflict. It makes you resilient in conflict. Let's recap the 7 subtle behaviors of emotionally intelligent people. They pause before reacting. They read the room without making it about them. They let silence do the heavy lifting. They ask thoughtful, unusual questions. They regulate, not suppress, their emotions. They don't make everything about themselves. They can disagree without disrespect. Here's the good news. You don't have to master all of these at once. Emotional intelligence isn't about perfection. It's about practice. It's not a personality trait. It's a skill. A set of choices you make every single day. You don't need to be born a people person. You don't need to be the most outgoing person in the room. You just need the awareness to pause, the curiosity to ask better questions, the humility to listen, and the courage to regulate your emotions. That's emotional intelligence. Not about being liked, but about being trusted. And nothing is more magnetic than that. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember your credentials, your clever one-liners, or how loudly you spoke. They'll remember how you made them feel. Safe, seen, respected. And that's the gift of emotional intelligence. So here's your challenge. Pick just one of these 7 behaviors and try it today. Practice it in a real conversation. Notice how it changes the way people respond to you. Because awareness without action is just theory. But awareness with action? That's transformation. That's how you grow. That's how you build trust. And that's how you quietly, powerfully stand out. Still here?